Hey there guys, welcome back. My name is Kirk Nelson and you are watching the Digital Figure Drawing Beyond the Basics course. We're still in section 1 for getting started, and this is lesson number 2 where we'll quickly go over the tools and resources that you're going to need to complete the material in this course. First of all, this entire course takes place within Photoshop CS6 Extended. Now, if you don't have the extended version of Photoshop, or if you don't have CS6, you have an earlier version, that's probably going to be just fine, as long as you can still have the paintbrush tool, which can be used as a pencil. Now, CS6 does include some wonderful erodible tips that I am using with my pencil tool presets that are set up over here. If you took one of my previous courses, I explained exactly how to set this up using the digital drawing workspace. Now, in addition to using Photoshop, I'm also using a Wacom pressure sensitive graphics tablet. This is an important tool to use for any type of digital drawing because it's not only pressure sensitive, it also can detect pen tilt and pen rotation. So this really feels much more like actual drawing as opposed to attempting to use the mouse. If you don't have one of these, I encourage you to try to find one before you continue on with any serious endeavor in digital artwork. Another tool that I would recommend for any digital artist seriously considering doing figure drawing as a frequent activity is a drawing mannequin. That's these little wooden dolls that are completely posable. The joints on these dolls are crafted to mimic the joints of the human body, and for the most part they do a pretty good job. They're not exact, it doesn't have a spine, it's just wooden blocks, and also the hips don't really tilt out the way you would expect them to with a real human. But regardless of that, they're a very expressive thing that's really helpful when learning how to pose a figure and how things look as the joints interact with one another. These can be picked up at really any arts and crafts store. You just need to go in and ask for a drawing mannequin. Also, along with this course, I've included the course files for every lesson. And in these course files, there's a couple of little bonus things too. For instance, I've got the sketch paper off-white JPEG, and what this is simply a blank piece of paper. It's not totally white. It is off-white, and the edges are a little bit darkened, and there's got just a very subtle texture to it. And this serves as the starting point for every single drawing in this course. So every lesson that we begin, this is the starting blank sheet of paper that we begin with. Also, in those course files, I've included from the previous courses the figure proportion guides. I have them both for the male and the female. Use these as a reference item for you to have. It may be even helpful for you to print them out and just have them readily available. It shows the 8 heads tall standard proportion that I use for all of my adult figures anyway. Unless specifically noted, this is the proportions that I use for the figures in this course. So with that, I think we are ready to get started. That's the end of lesson 2. So the next lesson, we will complete this getting started section, and we will do a quick review of where we left off in the previous course. See you guys then.